I was just thinking, what's the date here? The 16th of January, 26. 6 in the morning, 6:32 a.m. I was just thinking, just random things about Heather. And now I can't think of any to record. It was like, she would blast her. She would, come to bed, but she'd take a bath first. She'd be watching her show downstairs and continue watching it on her phone, and she would have it turned up so loud. So she'd be in the bathroom, and it'd just be blaring. And, she'd be taking her bath. And then, she'd, noisily, open up the bathroom door all suddenly. And then the phone got even louder at that point. And then she, crawls into bed. Phone still blasting. I'm laying there ugh, that's loud. This is not the way I want to wake up. But it's, one of those memories that just made, made a home kind of thing. Just I walk around the house and there's just no life to it. It's chaotic and disrespectful, and as it was with Breezy living here, although I would never want them to live here again, just thinking back, there was life to this house, even though she made life here miserable. But thinking back, and then looking at things now, it just having so much activity in the house, and this is just a stark contrast to how it is now. There's literally no life in this house. Cats, of course, and dogs, and Ellie's still here, but not having Heather here is, it's very odd. I don't know, man. It's just when I'm sitting here alone on the couch and remembering the first time I ever came over, I remember the first time I came over, man. I sit in the same spot. Pretty much nothing's changed in this house since 4 or 5 years ago when I was here. Like the table is still in the same spot. Like everything's in the same spot, you know, like the couch position, the TV, you know, the chairs. Of course, since I moved in, there's been a couple of additions, you know, and like buying her a couple of dressers. Well, she bought one, and then I bought the other, and we have those in the house, you know. But everything else is, like the couch, like that's like her hub, you know. Like she always sat on the couch on the left side next to her nightstand table thing, end table, with the lamp right behind it, you know. I don't know if this table in the kitchen walkway was here when I was here before. I can't remember. Table's still at the same angle, you know. There's like you know, I look back on like pictures and stuff, even from when before I was here, you know, like birthday parties, and I look at those spots in the house and just imagine her standing there as that picture was being taken. I don't know, man, there's just so many things that go through my head. Probate situation is I didn't realize my head was so foggy, you know. I don't know, the probate has definitely been throwing me for a loop, you know, and there's just so much stuff to deal with, and not knowing who to call, and then when you do call certain people, you know, like I realized yesterday or the day before even that my head was affected by Heather's death, you know, and my head is just so foggy, but I didn't realize it till the other day when, you know, I thought I was on point with all the things that probate needed. And thinking I was, you know, doing everything I needed to do until my lawyer emailed me with like very specific things that she needed. And I'm like, wow, you know, I would have no idea how to even get that kind of information, you know. And then calling people I've already called, companies like life insurance and you know, our employer and HR. I know I've called them a few times for information, and then ended up not really getting the information. And I'd have to call back, and I don't even know if I'm making sense, but I know that I would be on a phone call and taking notes and things like that, but looking back on my notes, I realized how foggy my head was because none of the notes really make sense. Everything's disorganized, you know. I should have wrote down dates and times and that I was calling these people, and Luckily, I audio record all the phone calls because listening back, I'm like, oh yeah, they did say this. Or I already did get that part resolved. Or I already asked this question and got this information, you know. But it just seems like everything's so confusing. Like life insurance and HR from, you know, like Common Spirit. You know, they have an HR department. And it seemed like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like everything's its own separate entity, every company, but then all the same. And so then I get confused, and then I get all these like or not case numbers, but like ticket numbers, and I'm like, okay, and I expect a call from certain people or letters and never get them. So I think, okay, well, they're, you know, a professional business. I suppose if they haven't got back to me yet, there's, you know, a reason, and they will get back to me. And then there's just so many things that seem the same, and then realize that they're actually different. And I didn't realize all this until like yesterday or the day before. And I'm like, wow, man. There's just so many things that I'm supposed to get information about, but then I don't even know, like, I wouldn't even know to think that I would need to get that kind of information, because I'm totally like, I have no idea those things exist. So why would I ask about them? You know? And then, like, the lawyer gives me or somewhere along the line, I'm supposed to contact, like, life insurance, you know, or this or that. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? Like, who do I call? Because I don't have that information at all, and nobody else does either. You know? So you gotta, like, I don't know, man. Like, even, like, some of the companies I call have no idea about some of these details, and they're the ones I'm supposed to call about it. Or when they do know, they look it up and they go, oh, well, this person's no longer, I don't know. It's just so confusing. My head's still not right, and I don't know, I'm stressing out. It's a lot of stress, and I haven't even grieved yet. Because I don't know, I've got so much anxiety built up that I need to know what's going to go on with the house, man. Like, if I can end up keeping the house, and then, like, probate's resolved, then I think maybe then I'll just be like, okay, now I can grieve, you know? There's just so many, like, variables, unknown variables, and I just don't know what to expect. And when I don't know what to expect, I just tense up and can't, I can't grieve, man. Because I just don't feel like I have the space to do it yet, you know? And then I'm stressed because it's like, you know, I lose my wife, and then what's next? You know, I lose the house. It's like, life just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, I got fucking married, man. You know, and then I lose my wife, and then what? I lose the house. And I got no place to live. You know, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with my life? Everything. Why? I did everything right. Did everything right, man. I get injured at work, so I'm on work comp. It's just, life sucks right now. Like, if I can't live here, I'm gonna turn pretty bitter. Because then, still, even then, I won't be able to grieve. It's almost like, what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point? My work comp's gonna end soon. I gotta get this ablation procedure done so I could stop feeling all this pain, and then I can actually work and actually move and do what my job, whatever job I have, I'll be able to do it. But I can't do it with this pain. And then it's like, what? Like, I worry about my work comp ending before I'm ready, before probate ends, or if I'm supposed to move from the house, it's like, how the hell am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to move everything out of the house, and into what? Laura's house? It's like, she shouldn't have to store my things, man, but I appreciate her letting me do it. But I don't, it's like, I'll have to get a storage unit too. But how am I supposed to move out of a house working 12-hour shifts? It's just like, I anticipate like that kind of stress. It's like, and then my mind goes, why am I dealing with all this? Why do I have to go through all this crazy shit? I found a woman, finally got married. Life was supposed to be good from that point. But no, it takes an opposite turn, and it's just like, what's the fucking point? I gotta move. I gotta lose my wife. Lose my entire fucking life, basically. End up homeless at 51 years old. Never a chance to just relax, Can't just have a normal life, ever. Ever. It's like, when does it fucking end, man? Heather was supposed to be it. That was like the goal in life, man. Like, just have a normal goddamn life. Yeah, man, I just can't imagine life. If I had to fucking move, I'm gonna be pretty pissed off for a fucking while. Pretty dejected about life. Then I'm supposed to just work 12-hour fucking shifts or more. And live where? Everywhere I look, there's a memory. Like, Heather loved this house, man. She worked hard for this house. And you figure some outcome should be available, like the ultimate reason that I want to stay in this house is because Heather loved it, and I want to treat it the same way she would have treated it. Twice shortly before she died. The last time being probably like a week and a half before she died. We were driving from Amber's house because we went in there to kind of look over things and see if anything needed to be fixed up or whatever, or kind of come up with how to make it, I don't know, up to standards for Breezy and the kids to live there. And on the drive back, I remember the drive back, man. I remember the store we stopped off at and just things we talked about that day, but while we were driving back that day, it was the second time that she had said something about my house, well, let's go back home, or something about my house or whatever. And she goes, our house. I have to get used to saying our house. I feel like that house is ours. And this is, of course, after we got married, but she wanted to really, start, feeling like she could share things with somebody, finally, And it just kind of hurts to think that with that sentiment that she had about this being our house, to have to lose the house and then remember that statement, it just hurts, man, because I know her plan, I don't know how to make sense of it. She just I don't even know how to articulate it would just hurt to remember that statement and not be able to live here, I walk over to the window in the living room, and there's this really nice dresser thing I bought for her. And it's got this antique lamp on it. I think it still has a price tag on it. Let me look. Well, it's got a price tag still on it. And then it's got a silver platter with an aloe plant and a couple other plants on it. And I just remember about a week before she passed, she was over here watering these plants as I sat on the couch watching her, and time I look over there, I imagine that. I remember that. And I don't know, man. Everywhere I look in the house, you know, I imagine, or I remember her being in these spots doing different things at different times, you know, and it's just absolute silence now. It's like I live in a tomb of memories. You know, sometimes I think back, I don't know, within a month of her passing, like I sit here and it's quiet and I look around and I imagine, or I remember all these, like, just the noise of the house, you know, the liveliness of it, good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's just the liveliness that was within the house. And then sitting there in silence and looking at her decorations around the house, and I remember thinking, like, I feel like I live in not live, but I feel like I'm in, like, a furniture store after they close, you know. It just seems so surreal. Get down. Get down. I got a cat eating food in the kitchen. I got a corgi eating kibble piece by piece over here. I got a German Shepherd curled up on the I don't know, it's not a recliner, but it's a chair in the living room. Had another cat that I just had to get down from on top of a stand with a lamp on it because he's messing with something. I don't want him knocking anything down because, I don't know, they just get a little ornery, I guess. Start messing things up, knocking things over. Well, like, I don't know, the other day it was the day after I grilled a steak. And I think the day after that, I smelled somebody cooking burgers, or I smelled burgers on the air, and it reminded me completely of summer. And how we were grilling on the 4th of July, you know. And I remember, I don't know, using hamburger buns for something the other day, and that day that I smelled the burgers on the air. And then I remember putting the burgers over on the counter, or the buns on the counter in their bag. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm never going to grill burgers ever again because it just reminds me of activity in the house, you know. And then, you know, the smell and the taste of burgers would just remind me of those times, but as if I were to eat a burger here by myself, I'd just be alone and depressing, and I hate the silence in this house. The emptiness. There's just nothing.